Today's video, we're doing preschool activity boxes. I'm very excited about this because everything in this video is super budget friendly and they're ideas that you probably haven't seen yet. Very excited to show you what's in store, so let's get started. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. I did a toddler busy box video not too long ago and you guys loved it and wanted to see some more ideas, so I thought this time I'd do the preschool activity busy boxes. If you're a Purple Alphabet fan, you definitely know that I like making activity boxes for my girls. They used to be restaurant kits where we take them to the restaurant and have some fun things to do while we waited for our food, and they turned into activity boxes for when they're bored at home. These activities boxes that we're talking about today are a little bit different because I'm making them into kind of a busy box, one activity per box. And I did one on toddlers, so do watch that video. I'll put the link down below, down in the description box if you want to get some ideas. I got some great feedback from that one. You guys said you loved it because there's a lot of new ideas in that video. Today we're doing the preschool age, which I'm very excited about. So I found some really budget-friendly dollar store ideas and I cannot wait to hear what you think. So all of the supplies we're going to use today come right from Dollar Tree. As I've said before, Dollar Tree has a lot of different options. They have regular shoebox sizes. They even have some smaller activity kits or pencil boxes in the learning section. But we're heading over to the kitchen section and we are looking for our activity kit boxes. Last time I used the ones that were kind of rectangular, and this time I'm going to use the square ones. So I'm going to put together a couple of bins using these containers just because I like the size of them, and in particular one of the activities we're going to create today is going to do really well with this size box. I also like that you can stack these boxes, so make sure you get the lids so you can stack them. You can also label them if you want to do like label what's inside, or if you want to label day of the week, or if you want to put their name on it if you have multiple kids, and you can switch out the activities inside them every week. But any of those systems really do work, so just do what's best for you guys. I'm going to not label mine because I'm actually going to be reusing them over time and just putting different things inside. For this first activity, since we're in the kitchen section, go ahead and look for this sink mat. Now you have to be on the lookout for them because sometimes you can't find them, but if you do, go ahead and grab it. They're made out of this really great plastic. It's very flexible and it's just perfect for the activities we're going to do. So I got one of these. Then head over to the craft section or even the holiday section and you are looking for ribbon. So pick ribbon that just suits your fancy, that you like a lot, that you think is really pretty. Maybe you already have ribbon at home. That's fine too. I found two here that I thought were really festive for spring. This one has kind of stripes on it, all kinds of different colors. This one has some cactuses on it. Each spool here has 9 feet. Also, if you have different scrap ribbon at home, that would probably work as well too. This activity is going to require a little bit of a setup, so I'm going to go ahead and take off my little tag here on the mat, and this is going to be for our project. We're putting together a weaving project for some fine motor work, and I just love that you can customize this with your ribbon seasonally, or that you can use scrap ribbon that you probably have around the house. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut strips out. Now I'm going to go a little bit longer than my actual sink mat here, probably almost double the size, just so you have some ribbon to work with. You can play around with this too, and if you have scraps, you know, just use what you have. And you can use as many colors as you want. Like I said, I only have the 2 spools, but really this is up to you guys how you want to do this. And I did get this thicker ribbon kind of on purpose. I measured it up to my mat here to make sure it would work, just because I wanted something a little bit more substantial to hold on to it. Sometimes you can get ribbon that's much smaller, like it's 1/4 of the size of this width, and so that's just a lot harder to work with if you're doing a fine motor exercise. Now you can do this 2 different ways. You can supply all of your ribbon loose like this. If you have a child that might like that better, maybe they're okay with it being loose, and if they're not, another way to do this is to take each individual string and go ahead and attach it to your mat. So if you have a child that just gets really frustrated real easy with the weaving or this kind of fine motor work, this is just going to help them start it off so that they don't have to. So if you have a child that gets frustrated easily, just keep that in mind. I'm just going to tie this on here. You can also secure it if that's a concern of yours with some hot glue. So tie it and then hot glue it on. So I went ahead and tied on each ribbon. I skipped every other row. You don't have to. I just thought that might make things a little bit easier. Definitely want to consider that hot glue if you plan on using this long term. But now what we have is a really fun fine motor activity for weaving. So your child will pick one ribbon at a time, place the others aside, and then they will begin weaving it in and out each of the holes. Actually, I'm going to turn this away, this other side here, so you can see the pretty ribbon colors. And this is really working on the hand-eye coordination, fine motor, and pulling through that ribbon. And I love that the size of this ribbon fits perfectly inside here. And it's very much like lacing, just your holes are bigger. Your ribbon's a little bit bigger too. And then we have our first row done. So I have weaved 2 of those for you guys, and that's just a fun, really great fine motor work, and it costs you all of $3 for the materials. You can store it inside the little bin if you like. It doesn't fit exactly, so you do have to fold it over, but the thing is this is plastic and it's very pliable, so it folds right down, and you have one activity bin. Next up, we got our next container here. And we have a lid, because you're definitely going to need a lid for this one. This activity, you're going to head on over to the cooking section, the food section, where all the food's stored. And you are going to go to the spices and look for the sprinkles, the rainbow sprinkles. Such a great sensory item. It's $1 per container. I ended up getting 3 of them just because I love them. So what I'm going to do is put these inside our bin here. You just open right up. They got a little seal on them. These are going inside our container. Oh, they're so pretty and colorful. Let's see how many we're going to need here. I wasn't sure, so that's why I got the 3. There's 2. I actually think it might be too much, so I poured out about half of the sprinkles. I want just enough to cover the bottom. You don't want too much or it's not going to work. And then I shook it out a little bit for it to work. Next up, I am going to be adding in my own flashcards. If you have alphabet flashcards already, then you are set. I just have a notebook here, and I'm going to put on my letters and write my letters in here because we're doing a writing tray. This is based off a Montessori activity. They do it with salt or sand. I'm actually going to do some lowercase as example too. It's a great tactile way to work on some writing skills if your child is at the stage where they're ready to write. So you can fill up your notebook with everything that you want here and then just supply that together with it. Then you're going to either use your finger or you can get a writing utensil. I think it's always best to start with the finger first because it's a very tactile way to do learning. So you'd form the letter A in the sprinkles with your finger, and we're not looking for perfection of the letters, but we're just looking for the motion of the letters here. So it's not a perfect A. Of course, I got some over there. See, now I'm being a perfectionist. But you don't need to be perfect because it's more of the tactile way of feeling the motion of the letters, okay? And then you can just shake it out really gentle again and do it again, or move on to the next letter, depending on what skill level they're at. So we can try a B here, and we got a B. Now, if you also are starting to learn how to hold a pencil or hold a writing utensil, using something like a paintbrush will also work because you're learning how to hold that properly. I might need a bigger paintbrush actually. So I go to the art section. Dollar Tree has a whole bunch of larger paintbrushes. Look for the big fat ones, and that would probably be as well as a finger. And what I like about this is that it is taste safe. So if your kids happen to put it in their mouth and eat it, you're going to be okay. And it's not going to be the end of the world. So really you only need one of the containers of those sprinkles, one container to put your sprinkles in, and then some flashcards if you already have them, or you can make your own note cards like I did there. And you can do your own Montessori inspired sprinkle writing tray. And then for this one, you can just put your letters in there and store it all together. I also want to point out, if you did put a couple containers of sprinkles in here, this is also a great sensory bin. If you want to use it as a sensory bin, just add more sprinkles in, maybe 3, 4, 5 containers, and you have a really fun sensory bin with just the sprinkles. This time you're going to head over to the toy section, and we are looking for dominoes. Now you can find 2 different types of dominoes here at the Dollar Tree. First one are the ceramic dominoes. I actually have a video of activities that you can do with these dominoes. Definitely need to check that video out after you watch this one if you have these dominoes, because there's a lot of fun math activities that you can do. They came out with a new one with these wooden dominoes, which are a fun find too. So really either one will work, but because these are new, I got the wooden dominoes for our activities. And then you're going to need some numbers. You can make these on your own if you want. So I have some magnetic ones that I've had from different activities, but you can use little pieces of paper if you want, but you're going to need some numbers. And then you can also find in Dollar Tree in their craft section, they have these wooden numbers too, which are another option if you wanted to get those. So keep an eye out for that. Flashcards could also work if you have flashcards. So let's try and open these up. So new to me. I'm excited. Oh, these are amazing. Nice. They're on like a little chipboard. All right, so we're going to put these in our little
bin here, and I don't care that they're all loose because we're going to use this kind of like a grab bag. And then I'm going to supply my kids with the different numbers. I have all kinds of different ones here. I'm just going to make sure I get out my little math signs, symbols. Our activity is a simple number match because we're doing quantity with the number symbol. So our child will close their eyes and pick one out. Here we go. We have a 5 and a 2, so they can find the 5 and match up the 5, and the 2 and match up the 2. Now I did say the numbers are here on the dominoes, and that's okay because we're learning, you guys. So I just wanted to point that out. So we have simple number match, and you can do each one like this, matching our number symbol to our domino. Now if your child knows this already, you guys, you can up it one more by, instead of just doing the number matching, you can put in your little activity kit a magnetic dry erase board. Okay, I have a little symbol here. You can write it in with a dry erase marker if you want. And now you can make it into a math problem, and they can work the math problem with their dry erase marker. And I like that this dry erase marker has an eraser on the top already. Is addition too hard? That's fine. Make it subtraction, make it multiplication. So just keep this growing with your kids as you go along. If you want to make it even harder than that, you can add even more dominoes and do even more to the addition problem. And you can talk about fractions. So you can see how these activities will grow. Your preschooler is not going to know fractions or multiplication, but I just wanted to show you ways that you can adapt it for a child that's already past this skill level. A lot of times you guys ask me the ages for these activities, and I don't answer because every child's different, and I don't want anybody to feel like they can't accomplish a task or they're not in the right spot. So there's kindergartners who don't know their numbers, and then there's kindergartners who are doing multiplication, really simple multiplication. Do what's best for your child and where they're at. Meet them where they are and work your way from that. I just wanted to give you an example of how you can really extend something, even though it might be too easy or too hard. So I'm going to keep my little dominoes in here. I'm going to give my numbers for some little math problems, and then a dry erase board and the marker all in one little box. So if they want to do some math, they can. This is also great for a center if you're a teacher or in a daycare and you do little centers to keep your math all in one little bin like this, and they can learn how to use it. So just to recap, we have some math dominoes, we have some writing skills with our sprinkles writing tray or sensory bin, and then we also have our fine motor weaving.
All right, what'd you think? Did you like the ideas? Let me know down below if you want to see more videos like this with toddler ideas, preschool ideas, kindergarten ideas, more. I don't know, you gotta tell me, I wanna know. You guys click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love.